Welcome back to DFK at Midnight. I'm your host, Bless. Lots of upcoming updates going on in DeFi Kingdoms. They are just right around the corner. Firstly, I'm going to hit on the building website that was released the other day on May 5th. We have pets, the eggs hatching coming up soon. We also have duels to talk about, PvP, and we'll go over the roadmap and see where we are and how far the DeFi Kingdoms has come in such a short period of time, I believe. Also, personal giveaways coming from donated by the DFK community members in future episodes. So be sure to tune in, make sure to like and subscribe. And also send me a direct message anytime on Discord at blessedpound9326. So let's get into these updates. Starting off these live streams, I'm going to kind of pitch what I'm going through. That way people know what to expect in the stream. That way they're not missing anything, they know what's going on through the duration of the stream. I'll cover those topics and then I'll go over Q&A, and then also I try my best to interact with you guys, as I go through the stream. So first off, we have the build DefiKingdoms.com, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. And like I said, this is the one that came out on May 5th. This is their base build platform that they came out, that Sunbear put in the DFK announcements. Good to see you, Smash. Thanks for stopping by, brother. This is the build.defykingdoms.com website, so be sure to check that out. It gives you a little tour. It's just it's a basic forum. It's for anybody really, not just DFK community members, but anyone that wants to. And we can go through the categories. Start here. Kingdom Building Program Overview. We have a grant submissions for data applications. Applications providing data for DFK users. Portfolio summary. NFT genetics. Heroes for sale. Ideal summonings, etc. And you can go in there and check out what some people have. Looks like a lot of views on some of this stuff. A lot of the people that I know and people in the DFK community love these third-party applications because they're very helpful when playing the game. So that's one awesome thing. Grant submissions, services provided for DFK users, NFT swaps, token approval, reset, etc. About the grant submissions, services provided category. I think this is Piano Man. Yep. He's pinned this here, and it looks like DeFi Druid has a grant proposal there. Then there's another one, grant submissions, community focused guilds, tutorials, support about the grant submissions. So if you want to read more about community focused guilds, tutorials, and support, there's information in here. We only have one comment in here, so guys, feel free to go in there, check that out. This is a really good website that Kingdom Studios has come up with to basically say, hey guys, come in here, tell us what you want to see, and we'll try to do our best to make it happen, right? And if you don't ask, a question unasked is, what's the saying? A question unasked is an answer never received. I believe that's how it goes. Grant submissions, external game, no DFK assets. This is external game, completely independent of DFK game NFTs or tokens. So they're actually willing to help people get their own external game that has nothing to do with DFK, if I understand that correctly. External game, completely independent of DFK game. So nothing to do with DFK. They're still willing to assist people in building their own platforms if they wish to do so. grant submissions external game using DFK assets. External game utilizing NFTs and or tokens from DFK. Basically the same thing Piano Man is saying here. He's saying, hey, this is external game utilizing NFTs and or tokens from DFK, right? And so we'll keep going down the list here. This is the grant submissions for in-game enhancement on DFK. There's someone that has an idea for tactic style PvP, PvE, also in community brainstorming. I actually have one posted here that has quite a lot of replies and views. I submitted an idea that DFK should have an action RPG style type bit of gameplay, and this is a little rundown about my background, some source code to that type of game. Ideally, pulling from different ideas and coming up with something unique and amazing would take DFK to that next level. There's some partial combat from the N64 Gauntlet Legends version, right? And I would love to see this happen. If you're able to grab your NFT character and start walking around in game, killing monsters, fighting bosses, crawling through dungeons, that would be ideal, and I believe it would really increase the value of the project. It's going to take a fair amount of work to get that done, but I know people that are willing to support it, and I love the idea myself. They got grant submissions, other projects or applications, nothing posted in there. Community collaboration, I believe I posted in this one. I said, looking for people with ideas, imagination, computer science knowledge, leadership, communication skills, integrity, resource, etc. And that was kind of the motto that I had, was let no voice go unheard. What do you want to see in DFK? What are your ideas? What can you bring to the table? So if you have an idea, if you want to let Kingdom Studios know what you would like to see in the game, come here, tell them what you want to see. And again, this is the build.defykingdoms.com website. And elaborate on what you would like to see in the game, and if there's anything you can bring to the table. And I believe everyone has something to bring to the table, whether it's an idea or it's a skill or profession, community brainstorming, a channel for anyone to propose ideas for projects that could be utilized by community devs and possibly proposed for a grant. So a lot of people added that. Hiring comes to developers on DFK Tracker. Seems a lot of people love the DFK Tracker. Mobile app creation, not sure what that's about. Indicator for idle heroes. Achievements and incentives. Introduce a stable coin for transaction fees. About bots and sniping bots. So there are some people that have a lot of ideas, and this is a great site to get started on, right? So, okay, let's get done with the building program. Remember the link there. Let's get into the pets. I have some saved images here. I'm just going to pull this over. Alright, so this is something that Cinnamon Bun was working on right here earlier today. He was working on the roots on these pets, and these will be some of the ones that are hatching from the eggs. There's also a Fae, little Fae character there. Obviously you got a golden egg here, so I think this one's legit. Maybe someone made this one up. I'm not sure. I tried to pull as much information as I could, but I know a lot of people were creating their own pets. The Shadow Wolf pup, I know that one is legitimate. Shadow pup looks really good, really cool. I'm really interested in seeing what these pets are going to do and how beneficial they are going to be to the heroes in the game. Crystal Hat, Kindora, looks kind of like, I'm not sure what to make of that. So, this is some of the pet stuff. I know they haven't leaked too much of it. They want to keep a lot of it secret. I know they're putting in a lot of hard work on that. Let's for just a moment go back to the building program, because I wanted to hit back on the where's the arena portion? I think it's there it is. Okay, so DFK Arena. I agree with Mike here. He says the fee structure needs work. I gave the game a try. I deposited 5k gold first, won my first match for 3,500. I lost my second match for 3,500. I did not have enough gold left for a third match when I expect to be close to my 500 buy-in. Also tried a match with a level 7, and the 7 was way too much. It wouldn't be a loss even if I won the match at 3,500 gold level, which means I would have to bet 35k gold if using level 5 or higher, which puts the risk too high for me to continue to play. I understand the need to recoup capital investment in the game. The game is fun, but please adjust fee structure, or I imagine most small wallets will not play once they see the expected losses. And I kind of noticed that in the video. It kind of didn't make sense. And maybe that was just, their beta. I haven't actually gone and played, but we'll play this again for people that haven't seen it, and you guys can decide for yourselves. So what I'm seeing here is, I guess this is your total. This person has a total wall balance here, and their total jewel amount at the top. Right now he's selecting his heroes, or selecting which hero he wants to duel with. And you see, let me pause it here. You've been charged your initial bet of 100 gold and 0.5 jewel to create this game. On victory, you will receive 190.2 gold. On loss, you will not receive anything back. So are you receiving your 0.5 jewel back too? Or... See, I don't understand the concept of that. So that's kind of confusing to me. I'm sure people that have actually tested the game out have more information about me on this, but I'll be watching that thread in the build.kingdom Studios website just to see if there's any update or reply from the makers of DFK Arena. So I guess you start pending, you wait for an opponent to come up. Once your match gets ready and your opponent gets in there, the bets are made, and then there's a global chat. People can watch these. I thought at one point you could also bet on who you thought was going to win. And this looks like a knight versus a dread, and you would say, hey, the dread's gonna win, but you never know. You never know. The knight prevails. Looks like he gets to claim his winnings, but I'm curious about the jewel. Are they insinuating that gold is going to go up a lot, or? Like I said, I think I tend to agree with a lot of people have a bunch of different stuff to say. I think we all want PvP, but I think it might be difficult to get a grant for something which will directly compete with what DFK wants to implement natively. Yeah, that makes sense. can you specify what happens with the total gold input, i.e. what happens with the remaining 4.9% of stake? So there's a lot of questions on this. Some responses. So feel free to go through here and research this. I'm just trying to touch base. I thought a rating system would be good, just to know kind of like who you're going up against. You know, you don't want people, and it needs to be not fixed. You don't want people to like throw games for low bets, and then you think you're going up somebody like about your same ranking, and they've thrown a bunch of games and lost a bunch to get back down to a lower ranking, like I've seen from similar other games. So there's that. So we cover the duels, the arena. Haven't seen too much released on what DFK is actually going to do for duels. I know that they were doing something similar to what DFK Arena had in mind, but they have their own agenda and what they're going to roll out next. So before we go too much farther, let me bring out the roadmap, and we'll go through the roadmap. And they've been following the roadmap. There's no reason for them not to. That was their plan. They're going to stick with it. So we'll zoom in on this. Same chart I always use. A little blurry, but I think you guys can see it pretty well. So obviously, we'll start up at the top. Community formation, they did that. Launch the bank, gardens, and marketplace, they've done that. This is all on the Serendale portion. The Gen Zero Heroes and Portal, they've done that. The Tavern, they've released that. Foraging and Fishing Quest, they did that. The Vendor, they've done that. Meditation Circle, all the way to where we are now. Kingdoms and Lands. Lands came out. They did the docks for Crystal Vale. They did the Crystal Vale launch. They've added the bank, the gardens, and the marketplace. So the next step for Serendale is obviously the pets, and that's mainly what I've been shown and seen in the announcements from DeFi Kingdoms, is that these pets is what's around the corner. No telling how soon. Maybe next week. I don't know. They've added the docks in Crystal Vale, the Gen Zero Heroes and Portal. They've added the Tavern to buy and sell. So it looks like and I'll just mark it. It looks like we're here in Serendale. It's a fat circle. Okay, and it looks like we are waiting for professions and quests. And so after pets, there are going to be some buildings in Serendale. I don't know if they're going to try to catch Crystal Vale up to. That would be hitting this landmark, this landmark, this landmark, this landmark, and releasing pets all at the same time. But they've said from the very beginning that Serendale would have everything first. And if you go farther down, let's just say they do release pets at the same time and catch all this up, you'll have the buildings next, the equipment, the PvE features, guilds, and then finally the PvP features. So a lot of upcoming information on that. Looking forward to seeing it. Just a couple of my own personal thoughts before I get into Q&A. Like I said, in all future videos, I'm going to try to cover some basic topics at the beginning and then go into doing my own thing. If anyone comes in chat, has questions, feel free to ask. I'll help the best I can. And one thing I wanted to mention is right now is a really good time to buy. If you're questionable about the project, do some research about the team, most of the team, if not all of them, have doxed now. So, look at their work history. Look at the work they're doing now. Check out the Discord. Look at the AMAs. Look at their YouTube posts. They're avidly and continually reaching out to the community, showing themselves, saying, "Hey, we're in this for the long run." I mean, they have tattoos of the game on themselves. I mean, you could take that with a grain of salt, but I personally, when I first got into the project, I thought it was really neat. It brought up a bit of nostalgia for me, just seeing this old pixel art, and it made me think of all these older games that I was playing when I was much younger. So very interesting to see this kind of retro. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's the word I'm going to use. Retro gameplay, and so much upcoming good time, in my opinion, because earlier in January the price was up over $20 per jewel. Right now, jewel is sitting at an average of $1.57. So you can imagine the gains if it goes to 20 and beyond, which I believe it will, as soon as a lot of this content is released. So we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, it's your money. I'm not going to give anybody financial advice, so you do what you want with your money, what makes you happy. Pray about your investments. That's what my family does, and that's what I would recommend you do, is pray about your investments, make a plan. A wise man makes a plan. So, I made my plan. I went through my beginning script, and now I'm going to go into Q&A. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. If not, I'm going to do my little search. First, I got to put all these guys to work, because if they're not working, I need to reset this. It's been sitting here for a minute. And this game is in its infancy still. It's like beta, essentially. Alright, so I'm going to kick back and chill. Milkweed, just a little bit of ice on those. If you plan on making stamina pots, keep those. If you have gardeners, don't get rid of them. Foragers are almost ready to go. I'll check back in with them. Fishers are ready to go. So we'll do fishers. Takes 5 stamina for each attempt. I said fishers. I only have 1 fisher. So I had more than one at one time, but made some trades, made some deals, and I have what I have right now in heroes. And that's where my investment is. I'd love to have some LP on the side, but you know what? If I see a hero that I think is worth buying, I'll buy it. Because ultimately, that's what you need to play the game. is a hero. You don't have a hero game, really play the game. I mean, it's up to you. If you want to just sit in LPs, you want to just stake on the project, do that. Ain't nobody forcing you to buy a hero, play the game. If I ever get all these pages, I will go back to doing profession quests. Also, that's another thing I didn't mention. The new profession quests are supposed to be coming out soon. And their level 10 doesn't require your hero to be level 10. It requires, to my best knowledge, that the profession skill be at least 10 to do them. So if you want to be ready for that, make sure that your profession skill is at least 10. Huh? Not right now. That's okay. I read my little script and went through there. Now I'm at my Q&A point. I'm gonna just sit here and vape and watch Discord, and if anybody has questions, I'll answer.
We should do it every other night.
Could do that.
And build up stuff.
I could do some pre-recordings and put them out as well. Or I mean, you could join the chat and talk to me.
I have to put a baby to bed first.
The baby's gotta go to bed. Say hi, Josephine. Say hi to everybody on camera. Say hello. Hello.
Hello.
We're gonna make some heroes do some work.
Baby. 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 Baby.
Baby. Let's see. Tavern. I have some other charts about the training quests for your average. So your average percent to actually be successful at the training quest. I wish I had more stuff to give away. If I did, I would definitely do a lot of giveaways. If anybody from Kingdom Studios ends up watching this, if you want to, toss me some heroes. I'll give them away on stream. I'm trying to do my best to promote DeFi Kingdoms. That's my objective here. I believe in the project, and I want to show other people what the community is capable of, and also what the DeFi Kingdoms team is capable of. So, Forager should be ready now. Set my forward. No, I'm not. You know what? I'm just gonna send my tab on. I think the most helpful thing I can do is go through after I did my little spiel at the beginning. I'm trying to get better at this every time I stream. Is go through some of the third-party applications and like DFK Analytics, search for some heroes, drop some links into the Discord that I'm hosting, and try to help people out, get some good PJ heroes. That's what I've been searching for mostly. Come on, I just need one more point. Need 5 stamina per, and I need one more on this priest to send them at the same time. Oh, come on. Alright, I'm just going to collect the other ones and I'll send that one. Just me and you, McLovin. It's just me and you, buddy. Oh, no, it's not. Man, this thing does not give me accurate readings. Why do you do this? Hello, what up? From the beginning, if you want to go back and check it out, I basically hit on the building website. I hit on the eggs, the duels, some of the PvP, the roadmap. Talked about some of the upcoming giveaways that I'm gonna do, which are coming from some of the community members that are willing to donate to do some giveaways on stream, and I appreciate that very much. You know who you are. Thank you very much. I will be doing those upcoming streams. So make sure you tune in, subscribe, like, and again, if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, I also would love to have feedback. So send me a message in Discord at any time. It's blesspound9326. And at the beginning of the stream, I went through the build website, showed the links of the pets, so showed some information on the duels in the arena, talked about some of the PvP information, and showed the roadmap and exactly where we are. And now I'm doing Q&A, so if anybody has any questions, if anyone wants me to check out some of the heroes, if somebody wants me to has any questions about the game, try to give you guys as best of information as I can. So I'm watching chat. Trying to see if they are ready. By the way, if you are a smoker, just switch to vaping. I smoked for 15 years, and I was able to quit by switching to vaping. If I can do it, you can do it. I smoked Newports, menthol Newports. So we have those guys going. I know I got one at the Alchemist to collect. I will bring up the chart for the training quest percentages right now. Momentarily. Sometimes it's hard to find your mouse on 3 monitors. Okay, so here's a chart. This particular priest, I believe, had 29. I can double check. I'll just show the chart real quick. So I'll break this down in case some people aren't understanding it. If your average success rate is way below 30%, like between 20 to 25% chance, you're getting a lot of X's. That's because your stats that you're using on the training quest are between 10 and 14. You get up to the red, you get closer to 30%, which is 15 to 19. Gets even better when you're 20 to 24. You're in this green area. So this is the average. So you're at about like 32-ish. And then when your stats get to about 25, the average is 40%. 25 to 29, it kind of gets a little bit harder, closer to 45%, so between 40 and 45%. Expected success rate at 30 is just the yellow dotted line going across here. And then 30 and higher, you can get anywhere between 30 to 45, you can get anywhere between what looks like 46.5, 47, anywhere all the way up to 55. So the higher the stat, the more likely you are to get a 50-50 chance. I mean, everything's 50-50, right? You either win or lose. You can take it with a grain of salt, I guess. That priest that I just used, I think I got 2 out of 3 correct, and that priest had 29. You know, sometimes I'll get all of them though. So, gold egg question. What is the? And here's a question we got. Sorry, I didn't see it. Had something over it. Do you know if the golden egg is going to be available just for a limited time? No, the devs commented on this, and they said that they have no plans to get rid of the golden egg. There was some speculation at one time that the golden egg was going to disappear. However, I did see the devs say that they have no plans at this time to get rid of the golden egg. Yeah, you can do that from active quests. I think it's nice kind of to explore around Sarandel though. You know, if you just use active quest and you complete. It's very convenient if you have a lot of heroes. You know, I only have like 10 right now. I think I have 10. 9, 10. 9. I have 9. But you know, it's nice to you know, take in the art. Did you notice there was a kitty cat in the corner? I mean, they ask trivia questions like this sometimes. Yeah, there were rumors going around about and I thought it was a potential too. You know, hey, if the eggs are coming out, like, hey, here's your chance to get a gold one. It'll never be there again. But no, they did mention, coming from one of the developers, that they had no plans at this time to get rid of the gold egg. I plan to when I can. I invest in and try to get good deals. I've spent a fair amount of money collecting the Perilous Journey heroes, so I got a decent little team going. I'm hoping that the Perilous Journey quests are really beneficial, like really beneficial. and I know that there's also, the land battles as well. So, and that's what I brought up earlier, was the roadmap, and I'll go back to it again. This is where we are in Sarandel. They've done everything from here. This is the next step. That is a good question. I believe within the next 2 weeks we will have hatching. It could even happen as early as next Wednesday, because that's usually when they do patches. So it could be next Wednesday, which is the 18th. Perilous Journey quest was a one-time thing where you could load your heroes onto the ship in Sarandel and sail to Crystal Vale. And they did say that they were going to come out with future burn mechanics like Perilous Journey, but there will never be another Perilous Journey like previous. There won't be another one. Hey, Anonymous. Appreciate you dropping in, buddy. Really do. Just taking some questions about when the new PJ quest will be available, and I was telling them that Perilous Journey was a one-time thing from Sarandel to Crystal Vale. That's basically was the opening of the new chain. I believe every time they open a new chain, they will implement some kind of burn mechanic that gives you an opportunity to send your hero. I would be so scared to send one of my PJs and then for them to not come back. Maybe they have an increased chance since they've already survived one. Who knows? I think it is important for game economics too. A burning mechanic is going to be very important, and they might have some more updates for us soon on that. Speaking of which, if you look through the announcements in the DFK Discord, right now it looks like they're focusing on the Gen 0 reroll launch. That's basically allowing people to reroll the recessives. They have more information on the docs, their white papers, which is here. Let's see. Oh, zoomed in. Okay. Where were they talking about that at? Oh. Vith Raven's Reawakening, that's what they're calling it. So if you want to check this out and read through this, docs.defykingdoms.com. This tells you about what's basically the next thing that's coming up. So this may actually be what's happening Wednesday. I think Dreamer and Frisky have said multiple times double PJ would be sweet. I believe eggs for a duration of time, depending on how beneficial the pets are, will be much more valuable as soon as the hatching happens. That's what some people are calling it, the hatching. So, but if you want to know what's going on right now, and the next thing that's about to happen is they're focusing on the and the people that have the Gen Zeros, they can choose not to reroll their recessives. Like I said, if you want more detailed information on what exactly is happening to the Gen Zeros, come to docs.defykingdoms.com and go down to Vith Raven's Reawakening. Close out of that. See if I missed any questions. I definitely want to hatch my eggs too. I'm sitting on 2 grays, 2 greens, and a blue, and I wouldn't mind seeing what's inside them. At one point, will be too much heroes. Yes, I'll bring this up on stream. Let's see. Demand and supply, or supply and demand. I agree with you. I every opportunity I get, I try to mention that there's too many heroes on the market. And if they don't get burned, it's going to drive down the NFT utility. I mean, it's good for people that want to come in, buy new heroes, and get them at a low price. But I think at some point, there does need to be some kind of accident where a whole bunch of heroes die. Risen, if you see this, please steal the keys, go into the vault, and just pour gasoline everywhere and light things on fire. Not only the heroes, but all of them. You know what? I mean, they say so few pets compared to the number of heroes. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many eggs there are out there. Is there somewhere we can see how many eggs are out there? Does the deck screener show that? If you heard that, that is definitely news to me. I don't know that there's any specifics on what pets will be in which eggs at this point. I think that was probably speculation, or maybe somebody has some inside information that I haven't heard. Deck screener, what does it say that the number of eggs is? Remember, about 50,000, well, 48,000 went, so about 30k died, so really we're only at about 150k heroes at the moment. Just thinking to myself about them saying they want families and kids to be able to play. I hope I'm not misquoting. I don't remember anyone saying that. I would be very concerned about letting my kids have access to my MetaMask account. I watched the Chaos Party today. I don't remember them saying that. Do you know who said it? I can go back and rewatch it. We're talking about the one that had Dreamer and Frisky and Risen and Chonk and Cinnamon and Sashi. Ah, yes. I think you're right. I think they were talking about 5 years. They may have been. They were probably talking about when they were saying, where do you see DFK in 5 years? Because there will probably eventually be an off-chain, something off-chain that can be done. Frisky wasn't there. You're right, Frisky wasn't there. It was just, who was it originally? It was Ballin and Risen on the call, and they had Chonk on there, and Sashi. Then Dreamer joined. You're right, he wasn't. One pet can pair with one hero. What did you get, Hanan, on the deck screener for total amount of eggs in the game? Because if you count the burned heroes, we probably have a little under 150,000. I'm kind of interested in seeing how they're going to do that. Are they going to for the equipment and for the pets. Maybe the cards will turn into like a triangle to where there'll be 3 sides. Anonymous Kirby Feet says, could you give an idea of how your game idea would work? Would that be an example of off-chain? I think either one could. I think you could implement it on-chain. It could be an example of off-chain as well. It really depends on how you program it, how you set up the network, whether it's another subnet or people are using nodes. But I believe it's plausible to use subnets for dungeons to create a seamless transition between, let's say they have a travel system come out, and you there's a Zeppelin in Sarandel. I don't know if you've noticed it. Let me see. I'll bring it up. It just got me thinking about travel mechanics. Like, obviously I want to move around with let's see, there's a little Zeppelin right here. So say there's a Zeppelin in the city, and that's where your hero starts, or maybe you start at your property and you have to walk to the city, and you get on a Zeppelin. Maybe they'll add a Zeppelin tower or something, I don't know. And maybe there's a dungeon like out here if they expand the border in the forest, and this is a level 1 to 10 dungeon area, or 5 to 10, and the Zeppelin can take you there. So a transaction would happen to where you would travel on the Zeppelin to this area. This area would load, essentially still on the Sarandel Harmony chain, and then you would make a transaction to enter the dungeon for a fee, whatever they decide that to be, and then it would be a seamless transaction from Sarandel to a subnet in the dungeon, and then the mechanics would completely change on chain there. So either or, the proposal could work either way. If they did it off chain, they would have to use some sort of coding where they could securely move the assets to an off-chain server with validators, and then once the rewards are given out, they would be revalidated back onto the chain. So I think finding a way to do everything on-chain makes things more secure. I don't think it would be less secure if you are using a certain amount of validators to make all the transactions legitimate. But it really depends on, I mean, my idea is open for either. I think it can be done, I think it all can be done on chain. Now, I don't know how much it cost Kingdom Studios to implement that AVEX subnet, but if they were able to do one, they can duplicate it for another area like the one they have on Crystal Vale. They can do that as many times as they need to, and the mechanics can be however they set them up to be. You could immediately be in third person on your NFTs that you choose. And then you could enter a dungeon, go through the dungeon, kill enemies, kill the boss. There could be different modes. There could be an easy mode, a hard mode, a hardcore mode. Obviously, the hardcore mode would reward more than the hard mode, and the hard mode would reward more than the easy mode. And they could come up with all kind of different costs. Use of gold, use of gold makes the most sense to me, I think, for an entry fee to a dungeon, or even jewel. and then easy would give you a certain amount of rewards. Hardcore would put you at risk for losing a hero. So if it was a hardcore mode, you went into a dungeon and your hero died, then the hero would instantly be burned, and that would be a burn mechanic. So there's a higher risk, but with higher risk becomes greater reward. So if you're willing to go through a dungeon and defeat it on hard mode, a hardcore mode, then you would essentially get rewarded, because if you die, your heroes die permanently. Hard mode, there could just be like a 24-hour lock on your stamina regeneration. Easy mode, it could just be when you die, you lose access to the dungeon for 24 hours. I mean, I had a consultation set up. I'm still waiting for that meeting to go through. It was pushed back. I'm still waiting to hear back on the reschedule. I think it's supposed to be next week. Sometime next week. Oh no, so the 11th they could be pushing out the Gen 0 recessives, and then maybe the 18th or the 25th they could drop to the hatching. But yeah, that would essentially be my idea, would be to extend the borders out past the land in different directions, make a travel component. They do have these roads in here. I don't know if anybody played Oregon Trail, but maybe you would have to ford. I mean, it looks like there's bridges all over, but maybe you would have to take a ferry somewhere. That would take a transaction, and maybe you'll get like a cutscene of you going on the little boat to the area. I think that would be sick. I mean, they did it on Crystal Vale when you initially clicked on the tree, and the dragon kind of responded. What do you think land will do? What benefits landowners will have? I've heard several different things from the developers on what the potential for land can and can't do. I believe that they spoke about land being able to host maybe guild houses. Oregon Trail was awesome. I played that when I was in elementary school on the computer. I loved that game. I'm talking like the old 2D. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff up in the air. I can't remember if it was an AMA or if it was one of the developers mentioning it, or if maybe it was on Chaos Cast. But there's a bunch of different utilities, like housing, maybe storage, maybe like even a secure staking area. I mean, within these walls is a code, and you could essentially protect your land by having to do a transaction, and that they could make it to where you have to sign into your own plot. I don't know. I mean, there's unlimited possibilities. They could do it to where there's borders, where there's factions, and you have one side of the faction on this side controls, and if that faction decides to go to war, the land could be up for grabs unless they're neutral. But if they are neutral, then they don't get benefits from the faction component. I mean, I can just go on and on. I mean, like, I have 30 years of playing games and experience in doing that. I have a lot of information that I could just speculate on. So, what chain would be the next one? Any idea or information? I'm leaning towards, let me not speculate so much and give you a kind of a picture of where I gather my information, right? So all the developers, basically anyone's wallet, if you have a hero, even if you don't have a hero, that would be speculation too, McLovin. If you have a hero and you're on the tavern, your OX is displayed because you can see the owner, right? And with these third-party programs, I can put in your OX, so I can look at Frisky Fox's portfolio, which I think is, like, last I checked, it's around 8 million. I don't, something like that. The price has been fluctuating, so I don't know exactly what it is. I don't look at it every single day. And that is, again, a good thing that they brought up in the, what was it called? The, I don't know if they spoke about that in the doxing party or if that was around the secondary part of the round table discussion, but they talked about how they're only allocating their members to be able to withdraw a certain percent during red candles and within green candles. So if you look here, I would come to a hypothesis of these are the chains right here that were talked about. You know, Phantom, Luna, and Matic. And the way that Frisky is invested at the moment tends to make me believe that Matic is next due to the amount, and then Phantom. Or that could just be the way that he set up his portfolio. I don't know. But I thought that Matic would be next. That was my thought. That was not my personal thought. And then you could also go to the gardens and make a hypothesis there about the speculation for the admissions. And you could do the same thing with the gardens at Crystal Vale. So Phantom, you got 0.3169 joule second. Matic is 0.3169. It's the same. So maybe they're still trying to figure out that themselves. Maybe they don't. Maybe they say, should we go with the Phantom? Should we go with Matic? Or should we go with Luna? And they have the same emissions, and maybe they're looking at where the investments are and which chain would be the best. You got 3 million total deposited in Luna. You got almost 3 million deposited in Matic. And you have almost 3 million in Phantom. But Matic and Luna seems to be the highest. They may decide to go with Luna. So they may be in talks with all three of these. So that is my hypothesis, is Phantom, Luna, and Matic. Those are the ones that were mentioned. Matic and Phantom were mentioned before Luna that I know of. So maybe Luna's pulling ahead because of some reason or another, because that's what they want to do. They want to be a multi-chain product, like 6 versus 6 or anything. Like I said, that's again speculation. It all depends on, I think, how much the community gives feedback on this program. I think everything is going to depend on this. A lot of the community needs to get in here and give feedback, because this is where things are going to start being developed for new content, in my opinion. That's what they want to do. They want to communicate with the community and see what the community wants to do. If people aren't giving them feedback here in the site that they set up, then is there any difference sending heroes to the garden quests? I mean, which one to choose? Well, if you have a gardener, you're going to want to send it to the one that you actually hold LP in. if you don't hold any LP, I would send to the one with the highest emission rate, which is Joule 1. So no LP, I would send it to the one with the highest emission rate. And that's the Joule 1. I don't have any LP either. I dumped it all for heroes. Yeah, that would be this one. That's what I do. The summoner that I summoned yesterday with the help of Mr. Twit, which I appreciate greatly. Thank you very much, sir. He let me borrow his Gen 0, and I summoned with his wizard. I think it's number 37 if you want to check it out. It's a mythic level 7 wizard, and I used my PJ Gen 1 priest here. It doesn't show Gen. Sometimes that badge doesn't pop up. I feel like in my personal opinion, like I said, it's my opinion that the Perilous Journey heroes will give me better short-term portfolio value. And when I get the opportunity, I will put more LP in. But I only took the opportunity to buy these heroes because I thought they were such good deals. Like I got this one for, I think, like 150. I got this one for 81. This is when I summoned myself and sent on PJ. I got this one for like 148. This one for 250. So when the dip happened, I started looking, and I was able to pick up some nice Perilous Journey. I did have quite a bit in liquidity pools, but when you add 150, 150, 100, a couple summons, 250, you start running out of Joule really quick. And I try to also stock up on apparently nothing. I apparently stock up on nothing. Okay, here we go. These crystals that aren't cheap, and I'm holding on to 50 health vials, 25 mana vials, just in case they're beneficial when PvP releases. Every time I level, I make sure I use a crystal or at least an atonement crystal to get some kind of bonus to the hero. Extra little percentage here and there every level, I believe, makes it worth it. When will they implement the beta possibilities to their normal version? That is completely up to Kingdom Studios. If you go to the normal version right now, that's why it makes me this project is still in its infancy. If they're still running majority of their protocols on beta, that means they're doing a lot of bug testing. Still, that's why you have errors. And they don't want to implement, they want to polish and shine it before they put it on the actual DeFiKingdoms.com. So when I believe that they will switch to the beta once their roadmap is complete. That's my thought. I don't think that when Sarandel is completely done, and then I believe that the DeFi Kingdoms for Sarandel, you won't have to use the beta anymore. And then eventually they'll do that for Crystal Vale. You won't have to use the beta anymore. You'll use the regular one because they'll bug fix both those, then move on to the next chain, and then they'll continue to do that once each chain is efficient and running smoothly with Harmony and all the other networks, change subnets. Then they should move on to the next. That's what I would do. That seems like the wisest thing to do. Make sure that the product is finished, polish it up, get rid of all any kind of errors, bugs. And with the more people playing the game, the more possibilities you have for, transaction failures and whatnot, and, just polishing the code, make sure, there are no errors, figuring out, any kind of glitches and all that, and then removing the beta, if they even do it all. This is still an early process. If you think about an MMORPG, it takes years for alpha or beta to even start. They're only, they started October? Was it October of last year? Can anybody confirm that? I'd have to click out all this stuff. October, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just almost 7 months, and they already have a working beta that thousands and thousands of people can use on blockchain technology. I think that's pretty impressive. Love you, Miss Bless.
Just say hi.
I'm just gonna say hi.
Yeah. Howdy.
We're gonna start Miss Bless a pastry channel. I know, I want the eggs too, man. I do. I want. Yeah, I wish I could get one right now. Come on. If I get a gray egg, you can have it. How about that? No egg.
Okay, I'll do all the work with the kids and stuff. Don't worry. Go ahead, just sit back and relax, dear.
Hey, I Josiah under control. This is on issues. Alright, I'm about to get into my hero searching routine. This one's gardening, this one is... That one's done. Okay, so I gotta go to the tavern. I gotta go to the tavern. Pick up my last two. See if I get some luck. The dexterity. Hey, not bad, 3 out of 5. Actually just leveled that one yesterday. This guy is next. Come on, babe, sit next to me.
See, I can creep from the side.
Are you not entertained? I'll make room for you. Come on, Miss Bless.
I was trying to be a creep.
What?
On the side.
You can sit next to me.
Come in with some style.
When are you going to buy your first hero?
When I get more money?
When you get more money. You hear that? Miss Bless needs more money to buy a hero. I haven't been a very good husband. I'm not sharing any of them right now. You need to make an account. I can't share my heroes if you don't make an account.
I mean, to say something, but...
Say it. Speak up so they can hear you.
Yeesh. I said I'll make an account soon.
Okay. Soon. Soon. She's gonna make an account soon.
When I have more money.
When she gets some, when the eggs hatch, that's when she'll make an account. I told her I'd give her one. Which hero do you want?
I'm gonna start from scratch.
You want to start from scratch?
Yeah.
You don't want to. You don't want to.
I want to buy my own.
You want to pick your own one out?
Yeah.
Or you're gonna let me help you pick it out? You're gonna do it all by yourself?
I'll ask you questions. I mean, you keep me up to date about a lot of things, so.
I mean, that's what we're about to do right now. We're about to look at heroes. We're going to see if we can find any deals. I'm going to give this one away soon. So keep tuning in. If you miss a stream, will there ever be more professions? I think that is a good question. And I would like to think that there will be maybe some, since equipment is coming out, that there will be some kind of profession where within the buildings you can actually make equipment. I'm hoping that you can actually add them to your NFT, that the coding for the NFTs are interchangeable. I believe I would think they already have the coding for that, because you can put two heroes together and you can generate another one. So I wouldn't see why implementing equipment and adding them onto the heroes wouldn't be possible. What do you think of the quests where it requires 2 profession scores? What do you think of a quest where it requires 2 profession scores? That may actually be what they do. You may have to beat, like alchemy, for example. I mean, that's pretty much already that would drive down the stamina potions too. If you're more proficient in alchemy, maybe they'll reduce the costs. I mean, I would like to see that, you know. But if you go and you look at the alchemists, and I don't know, I'm just going to look at these individually, right? So it's going to cost you 2,000 gold, but let's say that being an alchemist becomes a profession. I think they would have to. Would they have to do another Gen 0 reroll? And is that a thing that they're going to do frequently? So maybe they wouldn't really necessarily call it a profession. Maybe it would be more like a skill craft. Maybe it's something completely different from professions. Professions is what you go do to find certain materials, and then once you find the materials, you go take the materials and then you level up a skill craft. Again, that's speculation. So everyone has access to all the professions already, but when it comes to skill craft, you get the materials from the professions, and as you level up the skill craft, say alchemy for example, it reduced the cost that it takes for you to make the ingredients. And I'm sure they'll make more potions as more content comes out. I mean, they have an anti-poison potion, so I mean, there's a reason they have an anti-poison potion. Maybe one of the in PvP, maybe one of the abilities for one of the classes has a poison attack. Or maybe another one has a blind, because you have an anti-blinding potion. Same thing for PvE. Maybe there's a monster that's going to blind. Maybe there's one that's going to poison. A swiftness potion. Maybe there's some traps that you have to run through, and you have to increase your run speed. Toughness. Maybe you're a tank and you have to tank a boss, and you want to chug a potion at the beginning of the encounter so you don't get one shot, and it gives the healers an opportunity to keep you alive. Magic resistance, that could be for PvP or PvE. I mean, all these potions have utility. There are a lot of possibilities. Heck, I mean, keep shooting them from the hip. I'll give you my insight. I think interacting within the community and brainstorming like this is what's gonna make the game better. That's why I keep going back to. That's why I keep advertising this for Kingdom Studios. I believe that this is one of the greatest assets that the community has. A lot of people spend so much time in the Discord. Where there's nothing wrong with that. You can chat in Discord and have fun and throw Kirby feet and geese memes and whatever else in there, and it can be fun and it's a good resource. But I believe that this new website is where the community really needs to come and actually just start throwing ideas in here. Just completely overwhelm them with ideas. I'll go into the Discord right now. I just advertise. Okay, so here I am on Defi Kingdoms Analytics. I'm gonna just shorten it and say Analytics website. On the Analytics website, we're gonna search for budget. What's a budget amount of Joel for you guys personally? Under 200 Joel? That would be budget, right? 200 Joel? Sound like a good deal. If you can find a nice Perilous Journey Survivor for under 200. Okay. Knight, Intellect. That's not what we're looking for. Thief. I keep looking at this thief, but the other one that budget maybe 9. Next level 200. You're not gonna find a rare. You're not gonna find a rare PJ under 90. You could find one. You could find an uncommon. You could find an uncommon PJ. All right, let's go off. Let's go that way. Let's find budget. Under 100. Okay. Maybe there may be a pet. Who knows what they're gonna do? They have the potential to do so many great things, and I think they have a great team. And a lot of the devs that I've listened to have some really good ideas. Okay, so an archer ideally wants dexterity. Luck is pretty low on the archer's radar for stats, so I'm gonna skip over that one. You know what, let me just bring there we go. We'll just look at these uncommons for now. Okay. Priest Wizard, Vitality, Agility. The Vitality for the Priest is 50% stat growth. Agility is 40, so that's not that great of a Priest. Priest Wizard, Dex Strength, no, that's not really good either. Strength Dexterity Monk, on the other hand, is actually decent, but it doesn't look like, before I even bring it up, it doesn't look like they had good rolls, or they might have not even added their points. It's a level 5. I'll take 5 points from the addition to intellect because it's got +9. That'll leave me with 4. +6, 10. 16 plus 12 is 28. So they have 28 points and 4 levels. That's 7 points per level. Actually, that's pretty average. So this is a Gen 2 monk for 88 jewel, and it does have good stats for a monk. To top it off, it's fishing. It doesn't have luck is somewhat of a disadvantage to monks, but they do well in dexterity. So it's a decent monk. I don't know if I'd pay 88 jewel for it. Seems a bit high. Archer pirate, luck for the archer. Again, luck is only a 40% primary stat growth value. I never played PvP card games either, and I don't think that they're really gonna go that way. I think they're actually gonna go. I think they're gonna go a different way. I think this is just a good way to present the NFTs, and then the utility just continues to go from there. Presenting them in a card is just a good way. I don't know if you ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh, but when they actually play the cards, then you get to see them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm dropping this card, then it gets to fight in the battle. So, yeah, card battles is like, I really don't want to see that. I actually want to see the hero. I want to see the hero come out in pixel form, 8-bit, whatever it is, and them to actually go and fight monsters and bosses and each other.
Yu-Gi-Oh was cool.
Yu-Gi-Oh was cool. I know you're a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. So I wouldn't pay 100 for that one either. This thief, agility, dex. That seems like a pretty good. No summons remaining level 3. Did they get all the stats? 16 that's -1, 2, 4, 5, 12. 2 levels, so that's 6 stat average per level for this thief wizard. Agility is its primary, 86%. And then the thief, you also want luck, and you have 75 here. It's a decent one, but again, guarding is not exactly the thief's best trait because it requires wisdom and vitality. It has high vitality, but the wisdom is lacking, and I don't think you want to throw points in that. But if you're looking for a decent PvP PJ thief, I would say this is a budget one. Pirate wizard. No, this pirate might even be better. Level 2. Pirates, their primary is strength and dex. Wish that agility was dex, it would be better. But the pirates still use agility. It's a 50 percentile. So 83.5% here and 77.5%. Yeah, I can do that. Those are the only 2 I like, and that's a decent price. I try not to buy uncommon. I try to buy rare or higher, but that's just me. Again, having PJ hero and not knowing what the special quest for Perilous Journey is going to be is a big thing. And that pirate is Gen 4 with 5 summons, so I mean that's not exactly attractive. I would lean towards the Thief here at 79 as far as uncommons go, but yeah, I'll go through mine. So I use the growth score and the class score as guidelines because if it matches up, the rarity matters, the profession matters, and the bonus stat, the 2 bonus stats matter, and obviously the level, because the higher the level, the more stats that have been put into the class, and that gives you a higher class score. The growth score is kind of like an average for how proficient the hero is in PvP and also how proficient it is at its profession. So it's an additive. So you have to look at the hero at itself and say, what am I looking for in a hero, and use those as guides. So here I found this priest, and I believe I paid. You know what? Let me double check. I'll double check. I don't want to tell you I paid less or more than what I did, so I'll actually get you the actual price. This is this priest right here, Lol Dinamord, and I paid 250 jewel. Okay, so I'll go back to DFK Analytics. It's a legendary. The 2 highest stats for the priest is wisdom and intellect. Wisdom is at a base 80% for the primary stat growth, and intellect base is 70. So you get the 2% bonus from the blue, and because the priest, it's a priest, the sub gives you an additional 21.5 as a total. Your intellect is 93.5% growth percentage, and it gets really close to wisdom because wisdom is the priest's primary stat. So I picked it up because intellect is the best secondary stat for the priest, and luck was just kind of a bonus there, and when I bought it, I guess that person was using it for fishing, because it looks like they pumped agility and luck. I'm not going to do that. When I continue to level this, this class score will go much higher because I'm going to put into the stats that will benefit it even more. But it's still a decent class score. I think if they wouldn't have put into luck and agility, and they would have put into wisdom, intellect, and either vitality or endurance, because of those stats being higher, as you can see here, then they would this class score would be probably closer to 30. But there's no harm done in it right now. It's still a low level. When the level 10 profession quests come out, I imagine that the XP gain should and hopefully will be increased substantially. So that is the reason I got this one. Plus the legendary they get every 5 levels. So at level 10 I will get an increase in the rarity stat bonus. So I can get additional stats because of the increase in rarity. And on top of that, it's Perilous Journey. So I'll do the math for you, and I'll show you basically why the growth score is good here. And I think this one's actually going to be lower than what it should be, just because they put into luck and agility. But I mean, that's not a bad thing to have. Agility is a 40 percentile base, and the luck is a 40 percentile. It's not too low, but it's almost on the red. I mean, anything lower than that, I try to stay in like 50 plus, or like the top, 3 or 4 stats in the class, just because you're going to get more growth out of that. So that's why I decided to pick this one up. I'll do the calculations for it. So there's 18 points in luck, which is a shitload. So you minus the 15 points that the Perilous Journey survivor got. So without PJ, you would have 3 from luck, plus 9 for int, plus 7 for vitality, plus 8 for dexterity, plus 9 for wisdom, plus 4 for endurance, plus 13 for agility, and plus 9 for strength. And it is level 8, so you're going to divide by 7, and you'll get your total average, which is 8.8 stats. So it's actually, what I think the growth score does is it should be closer to 13. If you're doing it correctly, you should be close to that amount. So if your growth score is 1.3, you should be getting close to, that's a theory, really. From what I've seen from calculating so many heroes, I feel like sometimes or most times the growth score is equivalent to the average of the stat growth per level. But I still think that is a decent amount, but for a legendary, I believe it's a little low. But like I said, they probably should have, when they leveled, put points into intellect and wisdom more. I mean, because look how much more they have in luck and agility. I'm not adding any more into luck and agility. Every time this one levels, it's going to get int, wisdom, and either vitality or endurance. It already has a decent amount of health, so I'll probably be pumping int, wisdom, and vitality, or int, wisdom, and endurance. So that's why I paid $250 for that one, because it's a legendary, it's a PJ, and it has potential to be a very powerful healer. And like I said, agility is what actually increases the amount, or doesn't increase the amount, it determines the time between a hero's actions in combat. And it also plays a role in invasion. So if you look at a sage, for example, the sage's secondary next to int and wisdom is agility. So the sage is going to be able to have a lot of actions in a very short period of time, if the person builds the agility up, which they should if they have a sage. I think the priest is more of like doesn't have as quick as actions, or they're not at least built to do that, and they'll have maybe some kind of passives that are like renewal, or maybe like a complete heal, and they won't have to cast as frequently. But again, that's speculation. This was actually given to me, so I'll go ahead and skip this one. This priest I bought the other day for $150. I'm sure on that one. See, this one actually has a class score higher than that of the level 8 legendary. It's 24.6, as this one's 21.2. And I picked this one up because intellect, it's basically the same stats as the other one. Same basic stat principles. It's a perilous journey. So if I minus 1 from the int, that's the 15 there. Take those, the plus 4 and the 1 from int that's remaining, and that's 5. Add that to 9, that's 14. 16. Let me reset this. So 16 plus 14 from the wisdom, plus 9, plus 6 plus 4 equals 49, and it's gained 6 levels, so you divide by 6, and it's gained 8.1 stats per level. So I like this one because it was, when I got it, it was level 6, and I actually rolled a 12 on it when I hit 7. And the intellect is just a really huge bonus. I mean, you have to understand the fundamentals of the primary stat growth. That's what we have to go on right now. So if you look at the primary base stats and you look at the bonuses that they get, and you say, hey, I can build this character this way, I know what to do for every level. And to top it off, this priest has a passive 1 dominant advanced skill. Yes. Yes, I do. McLovin asks, do you suggest to do more profession quests when your hero doesn't have high stats because they are new? Yes, I do. I suggest you do nothing but profession quests if you don't have anything that is higher than 20... Let's bring that chart back up. Hold on a second. Yeah, there it is. If you're not even going to get... If you're not even going to get a 40% chance, if you don't have one that has 25 in a single stat, I wouldn't do them. I wouldn't do them. Close to 25. If it's like 23, 24, sure, give it a shot, but ideally you want it to be as close to 30 as possible, but 25 plus or 1 or 2 away from 25, I think you have a fair chance. But if you're nowhere close to that, then I would stick to doing profession quests until you level it. It hasn't gotten lower. The highest level a hero can reach at the moment is 20. I mean, that's not too bad, McLovin. At the highest level at the moment, last I checked, was 15. But we can find out. The new highest level is 16. Someone has an int monk thief for whatever reason. I don't know. It is mythic, but monks aren't really all that great with intellect. I mean, you could have a legendary, you could have a rare monk and outpace this level 16 class score if you have strength, dex, agility, or vitality. And get good rolls and feed it crystals. If you have a good subclass. If you have a monk with like a paladin subclass, then you could just go strength, vitality, and it would be a crazy. Even if it was a rare, if it was a monk paladin rare, and this one's not PJ either. Somebody just dropped a. No, this one's on sale. Hold on a second. See if there's one higher level than that. Okay, so there is a summoner, and it looks like it's ready to level too. That one's ready to level. It's says that one's ready to level. Oh no, wait, those are inaccurate readings. I'd have to actually look at the card. The bar shows full, but the percentage next to it. No, no one's hit level 20 yet. The 16, there's two heroes in the entire game that have hit 16. There's a couple 15s, couple 14s. The very few and far in between. I mean, you would literally have to pump hundreds of stamina potions, hundreds and hundreds of stamina potions to even be at that point. I mean, I'll tell you right now, this person's a whale. Yeah, see, this is one of the two level 16s in the game, and I mean, you guys can check that by going to the hero catalog. I can hit reset, and I can go to, let's just put 13. And put level descending. So like I said, there's the two level 16s. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 level 15s. 1, 2, 3. 3 level 14s. 1, 2, 3 level 13s. And then everything below that is probably... There's 100 heroes between level... there's the 13s. Between 7 and 13, there's only 100 heroes in the entire game. So if you see anything level 7, there's only... it says showing. Does that mean there's more? Let's drop the 13 to 12, and we'll bring the... did I put that on 8? No, let's put it at... let's put it at 8, drop this to 12. I want to make sure I'm giving you accurate information. Okay, so maybe it caps at showing 100. Let me test that theory. Yep. Well, DFK Analytics might do a better job than that. Let's say level 7 to level 12. Okay, there's much more than I said. There are a fair amount. But once you hit 13, it gets really slow. So for there to only be 2 16s, that gives you a big explanation as to why. I mean, that's just kind of ridiculous. I don't it still seems to be populating. So between level 7 and level 12, there's still going over 17, over 18, over 19, over 20. That just goes to show you how many people are feeding the shit out of their characters with stamina potions. Still populating. But no, to answer your question, there are none at level 20 yet. There's only 2 level 16. That's as high as it gets at the moment. So there, between level 7 and 12, there's 27,058 heroes, which isn't a lot in comparison to the total amount. And then if you do 13 to 20, you only have 14. So between 13 and 20, and it only goes to 16 because there's only 2 of them, there's only 14 heroes. And then between 7 and 12, there was, what I say, like 20 something thousand. I'll go back to mine. Like I said, this priest was given to me. This priest is generally the same as the legendary, but it's got an advanced passive, and it's PJ. And I paid $150 for it. I thought it was a steal. That's why I value it at that price. I think anything that's rare, that's good, that has a top 1 or 2 of its actual primary stats, and it has a good sub that benefits it, and the stats are allocated correctly, especially with it being a Perilous Journey survivor, I believe that it's a really good pickup for under 200 jewel at rare and higher. This Paladin Monk, this is one that I summoned. It's perfect for gardening. It's got Wisdom as its primary for Paladins. I'll show you the chart again. If you look at Paladins, you look at the advanced class of Paladins, their base at 80% is Strength, Vitality, Endurance. I know that this Paladin doesn't show that either one of those, but the Paladin still has a 65 percentile in Wisdom, and the subclass is Monk, so it gives me 83.5 total on the Wisdom. And like I said, the big players here for the Paladin is Strength, Vitality, Endurance, and that's basically what I've been pumping mostly. I did put a little bit of Wisdom, just because I want the Paladin to be versatile in the sense to where it will have a decent amount of mana power. Intellect doesn't benefit Paladins as much because it's on the lower scale at 30%. So if I want increased amount of mana for a Paladin, it's better for me to go Wisdom. Plus, on top of that, it's a great gardener because gardening is Wisdom and Vitality, and since I have a little bit of increase in Wisdom, and Paladins are already good at Vitality, it makes it a great gardener. And Paladins are actually the second best gardener in the game next to Sage. And this is one that I summoned and sent on the Perilous Journey, and I allocated the stats myself. I put Strength, Vitality, Wisdom, and I know I can catch up on Endurance, so I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna transition eventually. It's still only level 5, but I'll transition out of Wisdom when I feel like I have enough MP. And again, it's PJ. So once I hit like the 100 mana mark, I'll stop messing with Wisdom, and I'll just straight go. My primary will be Vitality, and then strength endurance will be the secondary stats that I pick on level up, and I'll be feeding it with the vitality, the vigor crystal, to give me that increased 15% chance at that secondary roll to get the extra vitality points. And as you can see, if you look at my class score, the paladin's the strongest one according to the class score, and it's on level 5, and I have 2 level 8s and 3 level 7s, and the level 5 paladin has the highest class score. This archer thief I just got the other day, I paid 148 for it. I'll double check that. $145. I paid $145 for this Perilous Journey Archer, and Archer's primary is Dexterity, Endurance, Strength. So these are the top 2 stats for an Archer. It can't get any better than this. Dexterity is number 1, Endurance is number 2. So this is the best potential stat bonus allocation you can get on an Archer. You could argue that there could be something better than Thief. It could have been an Archer, and that would have been even better because I would have had a higher stat bonus total, because the Thief's dex is down at 55%, and it gets even lower when it's a secondary. So if it was a ninja or an archer subclass, the dexterity would have even more growth. So I purchased this one because it was also very close to level 7, and if you add up the stat allocation on this one, go back to the analytics, take the calculator, it's Perilous Journey, and the dex has plus 16, so I'll just take the 15 away from the dex. These Perilous Journey are actually stronger because I'm minusing 15 points from them, but I'm trying to equalize that by giving them the same total stat allocation that a normal non-PJ would have, to basically give you your estimated stat gain per level, if that makes sense. So 1 point remaining in dex, so I'll put 1 plus 3 from the vitality, plus 5 from intellect, plus 2 from luck, plus 5 from wisdom, plus 17 from endurance, plus 2 from agility, and plus 10 from strength. Gives me 45. It's had 6 level ups. That gives me an average of 7.5. And I think the person that owned this prior thought it would be a good idea to put strength into it because it was mining. It makes it a decent miner, but there's no reason at all that they should have done this. I actually did this NFT a favor and bought it so it wouldn't be tortured anymore by the people that don't know how to allocate the stat points. So whoever I bought this from, thank you very much for letting me have it so I can fix it for you. Because archers don't want strength, bro. I mean, it's decent. It's 55% primary stat growth, but it has nothing on the 82 from dex and the additional 17.75, giving me a total of almost 100 potential growth percentages based off the calculator here. All it's doing is adding the primary and the secondary and giving you a total. That doesn't mean that you have 100% gain in dexterity there's a roll. You get a roll of 82% on your primary. You get a roll for 17.75 on your secondary, and if you use a crystal, you get an additional bonus. Yeah, but people don't know. They're like, oh, I got this rare, and he's mining, so I'm gonna. And mining is oh, it's strength and endurance, but they completely forget that. Have you? No, I have not won anything from the leaderboard. In my opinion, I think the leaderboard needs a lot of rework. I think it's a whale game at the moment, and I don't like the way that it functions. But again, there's not enough. I think that was another one big reason that there was a sell-off, because the whales were pulling money out of the leaderboard. I mean, there's also other factors like the market itself and the FUD that happened. But when 500 jewel a day, 1,000 jewel a week, and then it's just getting thrown to people that are just going to sell it immediately, then I think it has some impact. Probably not a huge impact, but some impact on the market. And then there was that whole deal with the mining, the locked jewel that was hot fixed, and all that other stuff. But that does it for the Archer, the Paladin, the Priests. This other priest I picked up really cheap right after the Perilous Journey for 81 jewel. And it has vitality and intellect, so it can be a tanky priest. I didn't allocate this one. This one was already like level 6 or 7. It's foraging, so its dex intelligence would be what it would need for. But why somebody decided to put some agility in there? Maybe just because they wanted the actions to be faster. It's not an actual bad idea. It just doesn't resonate well with how the analytics are calculated. So you can build your character however you want, but if you base building it off of the growth percentage, you're going to have higher returns on the stat gain. And the higher the stats you have, we're hoping that that's going to make your character stronger. You know, that's what makes sense to me. Higher stats, the stronger your characters. But we have to factor in your actives, active 1, active 2. We have to factor in what element. We have to factor in what element that your class is, and if it's going up against something that is weak against your element. So I mean, there's a lot of factors to put into play. This Dark Knight, I actually paid 200 jewel for it because it's a miner, and that was during the big mining frenzy that was going on. Everybody was paying for miners. It's an advanced class. It came with no summons. It's the miner that I have, and it's my lead miner, and I send it on the training quest because it's got 29 strength. When I level it again, which will be very soon, probably within the next couple of days, it'll hit level 8, and it has a low growth score, but I'm just gonna make this dude I'm just gonna make him have a lot of strength and a lot of vitality and a lot of intellect, because that's the Dark Knight's top 3 stats is strength, vitality, and intellect. I don't care about the profession. He's an advanced, so he'll have a leg up on some of the basics, and because he's a PJ, he got that additional plus 15. I don't think I've even added this guy, so Remove 15 from strength. 6 plus 11, 3, 3, 14. 4 plus 6 equals 47 divided by 6 equals. So he has a 7.8, so it's actually above the actual growth score. So I think they messed that up because they started putting it into endurance because somebody was thinking, oh, mining's more important than my character actually being strong. But again, he is an uncommon. He is a common, so, but I still think the Dark Knight can be strong even as a common, especially because he's PJ, and I bought him because he's a minor and he's an advanced class. This summoner I summoned yesterday, Mr. Twit allowed me to use his Gen 0, and I used my priest, that's the summoner. And then this pirate is actually sitting on this pirate I bought for 48 jewel, and it had 9 out of 9 summons. I've sold 2 of them. I'll probably sell another one tonight. That's why he's on Crystal Veil. And he's a luck fisher, so he has a double luck. He has a purple luck fisherman. He's level 1, and I was like, he's Gen 2 and he has 9 out of 9 summons. I think I'll buy that for 48. I think I can make up for that 48 jewel and just renting it out. And then if I decide to sell it, I do. If not, I keep it as a fisher, and it'll be a good fisher because it's a pirate and they're pretty good fishers. I won't care about his stat allocation. I'll just keep throwing it into a luck, and I'll put luck and agility and strength, just so he's worth. He does some damage because that's their primary is strength. So you see, it's the highest, 81%. I won't care about Dex, just because this is going to be more of a farmer for me. So that kind of summarizes, my heroes, why I have them, why I purchased them. I think the ones that I do have are very undervalued at the moment. I think they're worth much more in jewel than they were sold for. A lot of people, I think, feel like they didn't want to hold on to these for whatever reasons, or maybe they got something better, I don't know. But when I first came in January, I bought a common Gen 1 warrior for $700, and right now basically some of these are costing me less than that. So to me, that's a good buy. 145 for this at, let's just say 2 jewel per. That's $270 for a Perilous Journey Archer. A year from now, I mean, people are gonna be like, "Oh gosh, please let me get this Perilous Journey." Oh, they none of them exist anymore. These NFTs are so valuable. Please, who knows? They might be worth thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't know. Shoot, the commons one might even be worth thousands and thousands. I mean, maybe there's some shiny common Perilous Journey ones that are like super cheap, under 80, let's say 100. I don't know if there's a thing put for shiny. Is there? Not on here. We can always check to see if it's shiny. Alright, so there's a Perilous Journey. I mean, who knows? I mean, there's only so many. There's only 30 commons on here. Let's see how many PJs are for sale in total. On the entire market, there are only I need to clear the filter. Something's going on here. Okay, so on the entire market, there is a total of 288 perilous journey survivors out of like 18,000. So there's 18,000, roughly 17,800 or how many ever perilous journeys in people's wallets. I mean, you take the click the on sale thing and it'll tell you the total amount. Just takes a second for it to load, that's all. Yeah, so there was a total of 18,315 survivors, and there are less than 300 for sale. Just saying. I hope you're not selling any PJs. I wouldn't sell any PJs. Not even common ones. Even if they suck. Unless you desperately need the LP, or if you desperately need the jewel. Yeah. I mean, which ones are you trying to sell? Give me one of your hero numbers, and I'll pull your wallet. I'll try to help. I can try to help you price them. It's not a good sell market right now. I mean, I feel like I'm stealing heroes from people at the moment. I need another. As soon as payday comes back around, it's gonna be like 6, 4, 7, 8. Okay, so that's your Archer, Angry McLovin, copy, replace with that. Okay, so what are you trying to get rid of? The ones that aren't PJ? So, wait. Oh, okay, it's going to show them anyway because I have your OX in here. So the ones that aren't PJ you're trying to sell. So you have 4 PJ right now, which is good. I would keep the... Archer. I wouldn't be selling legendaries right now. I wouldn't sell either one of these rares. I wouldn't sell this priest. I wouldn't sell... I would sell that pirate if you don't need a secondary fisher. I mean, he does have the agility on this side, and he's got an advance. Nah, keep that one. Yeah, so basically you want to sell... Yeah, I see which ones you have listed. That Ninja 65329. He's a ninja fisher with endurance and dex. That does him no good for fishing, and he's not good fit for PvP. Even with the advanced, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you could make him good, decent, but he's not. I see that you have all these advanced. They would be more valuable if they had summons on them and they were Gen 1s and they had advance in the recessives. That's what people pay more for if they're commons. Commons with advance as dominance, they're not. This is all just my opinion, by the way. The recessives, like R1, R2, R3, that's what people want the advanced or the transcendent in a common. And they want them to be Gen 1, Gen 2, or Gen 3 max with a bunch of summons. And advanced classes anyway only have 5 summons, and so if you have none, that will. Let me bring up another tab of DF Analytics so I can kind of look at the same time. So how you want to price it is, this is a fisher. Yeah, most likely. I'm about to show you why. So you get a thief and you get a ninja. Those are the two best fishers. Like, hands down, there is nothing better than a ninja or a thief when it comes to fishing. The shapeshifter is decent. I don't know if they put that in here yet. No, they haven't. What would be the total percent? 80 plus 40, 120. So he would come in somewhere in between. He would come in somewhere in between. Where's my chart? Yeah, so ninja, thief, and then sage. So actually the shapeshifter would come in at the 4th best fisher. So if you see a shapeshifter with agility and luck, and he's a common, he's a good fisher. That's the priority. That class. Here, I'll show you it on here. This chart right here that somebody made, that's what they did. They based it off of adding the primary and the secondary stat percentages, and that tells you that they have the potential to be this good of a fisher because of the total. Like, if you look up the ninjas luck and agility primary, it's going to be 140 if you add them together without the bonus stats. If you look up the thieves and you add the luck and agility together, you're going to get 135. Same thing for sage. You add luck and agility together, you'll get 130. Then it comes all the way down to dragoon. You add those two together, 115. So on and so forth, all the way down to lists, to the bottom of the barrel. Dark Knights obviously suck at luck and agility. Paladins suck at luck and agility. Knights, in combination, suck at luck and agility. I think you guys kind of get the point. So for the knight, what I would do is, he's basically a fisher. A not good fisher, no offense, because he has endurance and dex. Well, I mean, he's not a bad fisher because he's a ninja. So inherently he's a good fisher. So I mean, I wouldn't sell those advanced classes. That's my opinion. Don't sell those ninjas at all. Keep them, use them as fishers. Pump agility and luck into them. Nothing else. Don't ignore the stats and just keep them as fishers. I wouldn't even sell those. I'd keep those and use them as fishermen. Agility, luck, agility, luck, agility, luck. I mean, you could throw some dex in there. Those are your three primary stats: agility, luck, and dex. You can switch in between which one you want to pick. So don't sell those ninjas. From 65329 all the way up, keep that, and then go to your wizard. Int, wisdom, vitality, and endurance. Doesn't have either. That's just my opinion. I think 140 is too low, to be honest. But the market for selling something right now, it's oversaturated. Your junk commons, 32197, 116478, 116007, everything under that ninja. Unless you're going to use them for professions. I wouldn't call any of them junk. They're all good for doing professions unless they're not. This wizard, basically what you need to do, McLovin, is you need to look at this chart and say, is my wizard good for this? Because if it's a common, it's not going to be that great at PvP or PvE. Unless it's PJ and it's an advanced class or higher. That's what I came to the realization of. Since you're to a point where you can actually sell, what you need to do is sell the ones that aren't going to do you as good. Those ninjas are great. Don't sell those ninjas. I'd cancel that right now. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'll list them to you. Wizard, as far as foraging goes, is decent. It does have dex. Agility doesn't do all too much for it. It's a decent forager. I'd keep that one. It's a Gen 1 too. And it's level 7. It's got 2 more summons remaining. I'd keep that wizard. Archer warrior. Fishing. Fishing again, you want luck and agility. It does have luck. And archers do okay with agility, so that's an okay fisher. I would sell that one. It's probably closer to, I mean, it's not a bad fisher. I would just make him a fisher, though. I would ignore what the archer stats. That's just how when I start buying classes for profession, and I'm not buying them right now, when I start buying ones for doing profession quests, I'm going to buy nothing but commons. And I'm going to take my pick of them because there's going to be plenty of them on the market. And there is right now. That thief. I would say keep the archer for I don't know. I mean, I would sell. I think I would sell it, and you're probably gonna have to drop it. Just drop it like 5 jewel and leave it for a couple hours. Then sell. Drop it 5 more jewel. The thief. So these are. I'll go ahead and put in here what I would personally do. I mean, you can, but I mean, you have to really watch analytics website to pick them up and have the jewel ready, because they'll disappear really quick. I posted that. What was it? It was a monk and something else today. Little Bunny picked up, I think it was a pirate, and the Little Bunny got the pirate quick. I posted a monk. 20 minutes later, the monk was gone. Somebody else got it, and all the other ones are still there on the market. Last I checked, I didn't see any other good ones, and I'm looking at under 200 for rares. I'll put the numbers into the ones I think that I would personally sell. So, sorry. Keep tracking. The Thief is horrible at foraging, and it's a common. It's not Gen 1. It has an advanced. It doesn't have any advanced recessives, but it's Gen 3 anyway. It is level 6. I mean, that's just my personal strategy. I can't give anyone financial advice. You are your own financial advisor. I'm not here to do that. This is just my opinion on the game and speculating what my opinions are. So 116007, that would be the first one I get rid of. You're already selling the Archer Warrior. I would just keep dropping that one until it sells at your own pace. Archer Thief, Int Wisdom, Foraging. Archer for foraging is actually decent, but this one has Int and Wisdom. It can be a decent forager. How much points have you put into Dex? And Intellect, love you too, baby. Dex and Intellect. I mean, it's really your call. This is just what I would do. I would sell it. 5, 8, 1, 8, 1. Yeah, I'm just re-mentioning it that way people don't think I'm like a financial advisor. I mean, I clicked entertainment, so and people should realize that. But apparently something happened and people keep mentioning that, so if I can throw it in there, might as well. You're already doing this one, so I'm just going to put it in there. 3, 2, 9. Now, I don't know how much you spent on these. So, I mean, it's really up to you to decide what you want to do if you're taking losses, but you could potentially get a gain by getting one of the a PJ right now that's rare plus. Potentially. That's what I'm betting on anyway. And I'm not much of a betting man. Unless it's horses or cards or no, just kidding. I don't bet. I like to take educated guesses. Where are we at? We're at Archer, Thief, Foraging, Int Wisdom. He's in the same ballpark. He's got 2 advanced. You already have him listed. 167024. These are all the ones that I would personally sell. Wizard, Thief, Foraging. Wizards are horrible. Dex, Intellect. I would actually keep that wizard. I wouldn't sell the wizard. He's a good forager. And make sure that if you're going to make him a forager, you level him as a forager. You don't make him try to be PvP. You ignore the growth stats. You ignore the class score. You turn him into a profession mule for your profession pleasure. So if you want him to be really good at foraging, all you gotta do is int, dex, luck. Int, dex, luck. Int, dex, luck. Who cares if his other stats suck? He's a common, and all he's gonna do is run profession quests for you. So keep 34998. I'd take him down. And then the pirate wizard at mining. Pirates are actually decent miners. He does have luck as a primary. I'd keep that one too. But level him as a miner, not as a pirate. Forget he's even has a class. That's how I treat commons. They are for professions. They don't have a class anymore. Their class is now miner or forager or whatever, unless it's an advanced or elite or exalted class. That's a different story. Or if it has a subclass that matches it perfectly and the stats are perfect and it has the perfect, but you just don't see that. People keep those. Of course, yeah, exactly. So the ones that I listed, those are the only ones I would personally sell. 116007, 58181, 65329, 167024. I guarantee if you list each one of those for 50, they'll all sell, and you'll have 200 jewel, and you can buy. See what you can buy. You could win a new car. Let's just say 215 in case there's something there. Growth. Alright, this night, mining, int, agility. I'm gonna say not worth it because you want vit, endurance, and strength. Thief, you want agility, luck. He's got agility, endurance. I keep looking at this guy. He's actually not bad. Someone else bought that. What, did you buy that other thief? That was yours, wasn't it? Didn't I have... Somebody bought a thief or something. I showed somebody a thief and they purchased it. Was that you, McLovin? That one's not bad either, but you already have a better thief, so we'll pass on that one. Monk, intellect, vitality. The vitality is good, and is kind of doo-doo. If they were swapped, I might consider looking at it, but I'm not because they're in the wrong place. That vitality needs to be in this column, not in this column. Paladin, pirate, he's uncommon. Luck, dexterity, level 5. I mean, these are advanced classes, so too bad he doesn't have any summons left. That would make him much more valuable. Let's look at the paladin. Again, I wouldn't be selling PJs right now, and these may seem overpriced, but if I had the money, I would just buy them all. I would just buy all of them, and people would be like, "Where's all the PJs at? Where did it?" And then the price would go up, and then I'd sell them one at a time for twice as much as I bought them for. He's got good strength, he's got good vitality, he's got good hit. That could be a beefy pally. But he's uncommon. He does get the rarity bonus, but the stats aren't ideal, so I would pass on him. See this pirate, when it levels, it's not that great, and it's gonna surpass the paladin if it gets a good roll. Some of these people just didn't allocate these very wisely. This summoner, wisdom, luck, gardening. Gardening again is wisdom, vitality. So it's a decent gardener, and wisdom is summoner's primary stat. It's 5 levels at 22.56. 15, 23. 24, 26, 30 points divided by 4, 30 divided by 4. It's not that bad. I mean, does he look cool? I mean, that really changes everything. Not really, not for me, but sometimes it does. It does look pretty cool. Summons would make him so much more valuable. If he even had 2 or even 1. I think this one's going to come down more. People are getting impatient and they're trying to sell. I wouldn't buy this one. I don't think it's a steal. I think it's an okay deal, but I wouldn't spend 200 jewel on that. Dark Knight, Thief, Dex Agility. No problem, man. I love doing this shit. Dex Agility, that Dark Knight is... It's a Dark Knight. It has 1 summon left, but it's a Gen 5. It's got decent stats. I mean, they're advanced classes, and they're PJ. So, I mean, they can't suck. Even if their stats are garbage, they're advanced classes. But when you're looking at basics, you really gotta min-max as best you can. That's why I don't buy anything under rare if they're basic. That's just my philosophy. I have a DFK philosophy, and I would like to share it with the world. Knight Priest, Dex Strength. I wish those two were swapped. Thief Priest, Endurance. No. Priest 3, Agility. It's got 7 summons. Gen 2. That's too much, and I don't like it enough. Priests are not that great at fishers. Another priest through strength, no. Wizard Thief, Strength Vitality, no. Wizard Knight, Strength Wisdom, no. Wizard Pirate, Endurance Dex, no. Priest Pirate, Strength Luck, no. Warrior Wizard, no. So really the only thing that I see that's under 215 would be one of those advanced classes. If you want a rare, you're going to have to go a little higher. But to be honest, the rares are worth more than what they were going for. So here you start getting a little bit more. Paladin Warrior, Dex Strength, Gardener. I would love to have a rare PJ Paladin. Am I willing to pay $250 for it? I don't have it. So I have to be more selective with my purchases. And I wouldn't buy it because I don't need any more ice, and I have enough desert backgrounds. They're good gardeners though. But Paladins do not do that well with dexterity, so I would pass on this one. Even with him being, I mean, I still want their, if they're gonna battle, or I still want to have at least one of the stats be one of their primary abilities. I just want to find something that's like a steal, you know. Monk, intellect, no.
Ninja, wisdom, no. Summoner, endurance, strength, no. Knight and agility, no. Archer, endurance, intellect. I mean, these are just more than I would. Maybe they're worth it, but I think you can wait and snipe some between 150 and 200. You just have to wait for them to post and just like pounce on them. Somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, I need Jewel. I guess I can sell my PJ." I mean, you can find some good uncommons, but you want them. I'd rather get them lower level PJ and then level them myself. Like, ugh, that's so ugly. Yeah, I would focus on trying to get whatever jewel you can and wait. I mean, I looked for a second when I got on earlier, and there was two. There was two really good ones, and I posted them in the Discord, and they were both bought within 20 minutes. One by one of us, one by somebody else. I have no idea who it was. Actually, that monk. I think that someone will end up buying that. If he drops that to 200, it'll sell. It's Gen 2 and it's got 7 summons ups. So I mean, even if it does have at its blue stat. It's gardening. And then some monk. So wisdom vitality is not bad for them. I mean, I like it, I just don't love it enough. And I'm not going to post anything or sell and say buy unless I would buy it. And I don't really see anything right now that I would say, hey, buy this. Elite ones? You talking about like sages and dragoons? I think those don't exist right now. I don't even think there's any. No, there's none for sale. Zero PJ dragoons and sages. I'll clear the filters just to double check. Oh, hey, wait. Here's a couple. There is a there's a sage warrior, gardening, endurance, luck. Not the best stats in the world for a sage. I would pass on that. It's not a bad sage. Dragoon priest. You want strength, endurance, or dex agility. That one's meh. Vitluck on a sage. That one's kind of meh. Yeah, you're getting kind of priced. This is kind of pricey. You mean a Berserker instead of Dragoon? Or did you actually mean those three? I mean, that's your call. If you want one of the new classes, you're probably going to pay a premium price. I would wait. I would wait for more to be summoned. They're not even that great. I mean, I put the comparison chart up. They're just like kind of the same thing as everything else. They're just gonna have different skills. Different skills. See, look, the seer, wisdom, basically the exact same thing as the priest. Wisdom, intellect, exact same thing as the priest. But you know what the difference is that this one's gonna have even faster cast than the priest, but it's gonna be less tanky. Slightly less tanky. It's like a hybrid priest with faster cast slightly. I don't know. It's really weird. The Berserker obviously now is one of the best melee DPS. The strength is equivalent to a paladin, and its endurance is high, so they're going to be great miners. Not as good as a paladin, obviously, but close. It'll be up there. Shapeshifters, like a ninja. Agility dex. It's just going to be a tanky ninja. It's a tanky ninja. Ninjas just hit a little bit harder, they're a little more squishy, but they have luck on their side. Shapeshifters, not so much luck. They're just like, hey, I have vitality and strength to do myself a little bit more damage. It's going to be interesting, though. Yeah, I that was kind of my philosophy. That was kind of my philosophy on it. Oh, I'm totally in the way. I'm like trying to describe it and it's in the way. Okay, there. Look, now you'll see what I'm saying. Wisdom, and endurance shifted over. Vitality, same location. Agility shifted to 55 instead of 40. Plus 15% on that. And again, the subclasses are going to make somewhat of a difference. Small percentage, but every percentage counts, I guess, right? So, and like I said, strength, endurance. The Berserkers would be good miners, even if they're common. The Seer, I mean, I like all three of them. They're all very interesting classes. I mean, the Berserker is kind of like a warrior. It's basically exactly the same thing as a warrior. Just slightly different. Yeah, the Berserker has the strength of a paladin, but the dexterity of a monk. Whereas the warrior has the dexterity of a pirate. I don't know. I'm just basing it off the chart. I think for me personally, I would be looking at a shapeshifter just because I like the idea of having a tanky ninja. I think they're going to be really strong. Yeah, I would not do that. I would wait and look for rare PJs. Click when you're doing the DFK analytics. Hit. This is what I do. I go to rarity, I click Mythic, I click Legendary, I click Rare. And then I go here, I hit yes on PJ, and then I go 200, and I go search, and then I say what's the highest growth score, and then I go down the list, and if I look at the primary and the sub, and it has, you know, good. Wow, this knight's only level. Where did this one come from? This one just pop up? Int agility? No, that one didn't just pop up. No, that one was there. Yeah, I keep looking at this thief. That's probably the next best buy on here. Is that thief right there? Under 200 rare PJ, in my opinion. That knight might not be horrible either. I mean, you could ignore the boost. It's only a small percentage. You could essentially ignore the stats and just put it in whatever you wanted, but with RNG I try to get every bit of the extra min-maxing that I can, especially when they're basic classes. If they were advanced and they're rare and they're PJ, then I wouldn't be so concerned, but even then, if you're competitive like I am, I try to make sure I have all the tiny little advantages, you know. I think those are the same ones. I think that Thief is the best option right now for the price. Because, I mean, it's got agility and what was the other stat? Endurance. Thief, agility. Endurance is a little low. But it does that primary is the Thief's #1 ability. So as long as you're pumping agility and you add some luck, then you're good to go. I would ignore gardening. It's got 22 luck, so just agility, luck, agility, luck, agility, luck. This could be a good Thief. No summons left. You already got the better one. I think that's a good deal for a PJ rare. That's the only one. I mean, they're all PJ rares, and you could do something with them, but they're not the needle in the haystack. You want to find the needle in the haystack. Like, the needles that I found were really sharp needles. Like, this one was 250, which I thought was super dope. I didn't care about the profession. It had one of its top 2 stats as a primary here, and I can build it out really well. Didn't care about summons. This one, I immediately bought it because this is my favorite background, #1, and it was maxed out on XP at level 6, and it's exactly the same thing as this except for gardening. And then this guy was 145, and he was the same thing. And he has perfect stat. I don't even know why this one was on there. Like, this guy for 145 was like, are you serious right now? Like, when I do training quit, it's like 30. What you get +3, so 30, 29, 30, 31. So I get 33 decks with that one. That's insane. Y'all have any more questions for me? I'm not trying to go, I'm just wondering. I've been trying to make them around 3.5 max, so like 30 more minutes. I'm generally gonna cover what. No. I got half hour left. I don't want the streams to go over 3.5 hours. Yeah, I mean I'm doing the same thing. I'm actually working with 3 monitors at the moment. I'm afraid to turn my camera around and show you because it might do like some kind of tunnel fucking thing. I guess I could turn this monitor off and then it wouldn't do it. Let's try that. We're going on a field trip. Okay. So that's the one that I'm looking. That's where the screen I'm sharing. This is the screen I'm looking at, and then I have Discord over here. So. I don't know what this middle one is. I think it's. Close to that. Yeah, I was like, dual monitors so great, and then I got 3 monitors. I was like, oh my god, I can't live without 3. I couldn't do any more than that. Well, I lie. I could definitely mount one on the wall above me and like have TV and then I'd be like, you know what? I could have crypto market on it. I would just never stop. If I have more, I would just mount them on the walls. Eventually, I'll have like 5. Then you just run out of like USB, but then you could just put an adapter. Any big events coming up? Well, let's check Discord. Like I said, the closest things to us is that Vith. What do they call it? Hold on, I can't see the screen. It would be cool to like have one just like up there, and then just have like, you know, a show playing or something, and then like have your. I don't know. It might be overload. I don't know. Big events. I think this is the big event, man. This program that they just released, like people need to definitely get on here. If you don't plan on getting on here and giving feedback, at least go to the red tab and comment on what I posted for the Action RPG project. And give your feedback, give it a like. And then the other one is let's build, let's grow, let's communicate. Yeah, Piano Man gave me a nice clap. Thanks, Piano Man. Thanks, dude. Looking for people. That's what we need, man. We need people to share their stuff. What can you do? Those two, purple and red tabs. Those are the ones I posted, and I've been checking on the other ones. I haven't been led to chime in on any of them. And then I would say that the other big events are the Gen Zero reroll, which is what I was showing on the docs earlier. I keep forgetting what they call it. It's called the Vith Raven's Reawakening. That's probably gonna happen this Wednesday, I'm guessing. Maybe sooner. But that's when they usually patch us, Wednesdays. So that's what I'm thinking. And then the next thing would be the eggs hatching, probably the 18th. That's when I'm guessing they're going to hatch the eggs. If not the 18th, then the 25th. Because the Gen 0 recessive reroll is not. They could even do eggs this Wednesday. They could do the Gen 0s on Monday and then do the eggs on the 11th. I don't know. The charity recommendations. I put one in for. A lot of people voted for this Project Beloved, Save the Wolf Dogs, Everyone Loves Doggos, Suicide Prevention, World Central Kitchen, the Humane Society of the United States, Lego Foundation. I put one on for veterans, but it didn't look like it got much attention. There's a Fisher's House. It's on here somewhere. There, Fisher's House Foundation. Veterans and their families are so important. I put critical. I'm a veteran, so obviously that's why I chose this foundation. Veterans and their families go through a lot of stuff. I know firsthand. So this is the foundation that I would recommend. Critical. The charity, the reroll for the Gen Zeros, eggs coming up, and then the other announcements. I mean, they pretty much did everything that they said they were going to do this week. They had the chaos party last night. They're working on the leaderboards. I mean, that's about it. They've doxed. It looks like devs are being more active in the general chat, at least during the daylight hours. So. check definitely the building website. Yeah, I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, that's what's going on with DFK at the moment. Best I can do is how to participate in what? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Participate in charity or the building program. Okay, cool. What were you referring to, just so I know? You're gonna leave me in suspense. I'm gonna be up all night tossing and turning. My anxiety is gonna get really bad if you don't tell me. So if I'm not shopping for heroes, I basically just PR and wait for my heroes to be ready for me to... Oh yeah, it's the worst, man. Hate it. A lot of veterans go through that too. I go through it. Still go through it. It's much worse. It used to be much, much worse. It can still get bad. I gotta really pay attention to it. I'm about to send these guys off. But guys, it was it was great having you guys. Why is that in the way? It was great having you guys, and I appreciate you coming on. And yeah, I know what you mean. Every day when I have anxiety. Yeah, have you ever heard of silent prayer? It's like silent prayer is like meditation. You basically clear your thoughts, and it's not an easy process. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. So, I mean, obviously, and then strength and compassion is for Jesus on the cross, and then the love of God is agape and grace. And I got my clovers, and I got out as an E5 sergeant in the Army, so you just don't react. When anxiety gets worse, when you react to the emotional thought that you have, and sometimes it's hard to rationalize your reactions to it. So when you give credit to negativity in your mind or a repetitive thought, it kind of is like a snowball, and when you do it too much, it continues to roll downhill. But if it starts rolling downhill, don't let it collect any more snow, and it'll dissipate and melt. Ideally, you don't want it to start rolling at all. So when you have like a negative thought. You're laying it at the feet of Jesus. You're giving it to God. You're saying, I am more than just my thoughts. His thoughts are higher than my thoughts, so I release those to God and I lay them at his feet, and I thank him for his grace and his mercy. And that allows you the peace and clarity to understand that you are something greater than just your thoughts, and God helps you with the clarity. That's yeah, you don't want to go down the rabbit hole. That's the last place you want to go. It's the last place you want to go. Rabbit hole is not a place you want to visit long term, nor short term. But what I do is I just go to a quiet room, close the door, and just close my eyes and focus on breathing and sitting up. I say if I want, I say a prayer before. If not, I just start giving any and all thoughts to God. And a lot is understanding yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. If you have I had a problem with acid reflux. I would get pain in my chest, and I was worried it was my heart, so that worry kept trickling, and I was like, oh, and what's going on with me? So having an understanding, or praying for understanding, helps. But God bless you guys. Please appreciate you guys attending. Same time tomorrow. I think I'm going to go over it'll be to be determined. I usually get up, talk to some people, and then see what people are interested in hearing about, or if something comes to me, then I'll edit it from there. But I appreciate it, guys, and in the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned some things. I will be here same DFK time, same DFK channel. Peace out.